If you've been following my channel, you know that I recently went to India. During this trip, we went to Udaipur in Rajasthan state. We were there treated to a cooking lesson on a rooftop in downtown Udaipur. It was so much fun helping and learning with this true Indian feast. Hope you enjoy this cooking lesson too, and plan an Indian supper with your family and friends soon. We started off the Indian feast by making Rajma Masala, which is a kidney bean dish. First, we warmed up oil in a large pot, then sautéed red onions. We then added garlic puree, ginger paste, and chili paste. All these pastes were just made in a food processor with the pure ingredients, nothing else.
Chili paste. More.
We let all those seasonings cook down for about 10 minutes. Then we added tomato puree. About 1 small tomato per person. Just pureed again in the food processor. Then it was time for dry spices. We put about 2 tablespoons each of chili powder, coriander powder, and turmeric, as well as about 2 teaspoons of salt. We then added about a cup of water and let it cook down for another 5 minutes. Then we added the kidney beans, about 2.5 cups. These were pre-cooked in the pressure cooker, but you can also use canned kidney beans if you like. We let this all simmer for about 20 minutes. Finally, we garnished it with cilantro, fresh cilantro, and we brightened it with lemon. We used the juice of about 2 small Indian lemons. Indian lemons are so adorable, or their equivalent, 1 North American lemon. Next up, we prepared Channa Aloo Masala, a blend of potatoes and green chickpeas.
Which we are using the cumin, then we are using the chopped onion, and then all the paste. Okay?
In some hot oil, we fried up the cumin seeds along with chopped red onion. Fried this up for like 5-10 minutes. Then we added the green chickpeas. We used about 3 cups. You can also use green peas if you can't find green chickpeas in North America. Then we added potatoes. About 6 peeled and chopped potatoes went into the crock pot. After combining everything together, we added the dry spices. So we added a heaping tablespoon each of turmeric, chili powder, and coriander. Then we added about 2 teaspoons of salt. Blend it all together again. Then we added the paste. About 3 tablespoons each of garlic paste and ginger paste. Blend it all together. Then we added about 2 tablespoons of chili paste, but you can put more or less depending on how spicy you would like this. Finally, we cooked all this in a pressure cooker for about 12 minutes, and that was that recipe. Let me just start off by saying that I never really liked okra until I went to India. Actually, I really didn't like it. But now that I've been to India, I really like it. So for this okra preparation, we started off with asafoetida. We carefully threw in the powder into a large sauté pan with hot oil in it, and then added the okra. And lots of it. We sautéed the okra for about 10 minutes. Then we added the dry spices. 1 tablespoon of turmeric, 2 tablespoons of chili powder, and 1 tablespoon of coriander. And salt. About a teaspoon, 2 teaspoons of salt. And then we let that simmer about another 5 minutes, and that was that recipe. Next up, we prepared hari mirchi piyaj, which is green chilies and onions. The Indian ladies did not let us cut up the chilies since they didn't think we could handle all that heat. They were probably right. We fried up dry spices in oil.
We are using mustard seed, cumin seed, and asafoetida.
We then added the chopped green chilies, and then the red onion, and sautéed those for about 10 minutes. We added a teaspoon of salt and a teaspoon of turmeric. Sautéed that for another 5 minutes, and that was done. No Indian meal is complete without dal. Basically, it's lentil soup. The tarka part means spiced or seasoned dal. You'll want to use red lentils for dal. These cook up really fast, like 20 minutes. You'll also need dry red chilies, mustard seed, and cumin. So first, cook up your lentils in water in a large pot. After your lentils have been cooking for about 10 minutes, add 1 or 2 chopped fresh green chilies, depending on how spicy you want your dal. In a sauté pan, in oil, fry up your spices. Once those are nice and fragrant, add some asafoetida powder at the very end. Once your spices are all nice and fragrant, drop them in with your lentils. This is what the ladies called adding the tarka, the seasoning, to the dal. Once you've stirred all those spices in, it's time to cover and simmer for 15 minutes. Once you shut off the heat, add some chopped cilantro. This is a very popular dessert across India, Semolina. You only need a few ingredients.
We'll be using wheat flour, oil, and some sugar, and some water. Okay.
Wheat flour, oil, sugar, and water. In hot water, drop your wheat flour. You should have double the water than the semolina wheat flour you're using. Stir well and combine into a crumbly mixture. Add about a quarter cup of oil and combine well. Add sugar, about a cup, or a little more if you want it sweeter, and then add more water, stirring to achieve a thick, pudding-like consistency. And that's about it for that recipe. The other essential elements to an Indian meal are rice and roti.
Some oil in the pressure cooker, and then you put some black pepper and clove and some cumin seeds, and then you put the rice with the water. Yeah. Just take 2-3 and then just put on the pressure cooker.
And that's gonna wrap up our Indian feast cooking video. It was so much fun. I want to thank again the 3 Indian lady chefs, Seema, Jyoti, and Meena, for being so patient with us. We had such a lovely buffet meal on the rooftop that night. Hopefully this video inspires you to cook up your own Indian feast. If you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. And if you've not already subscribed, click on that subscribe button. It's so much fun for me to see this growing community. Thank you, and a great big welcome to all my new followers.
Small Town Vegan, living and thriving as a plant eater in a small town.